If you're anything like me, your audio gear has gotten a little out of control. You've got wireless lavs for talking head stuff, a shotgun microphone for on-camera audio, maybe a USB or an XLR mic for voiceovers. And if you ever do interviews, you're probably trying to make one of those work as a handheld mic as well. That's 3, maybe 4 microphones and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Or maybe you're in the other camp where you're just starting out and you need a range of audio solutions, but you're nowhere near being able to afford them. Well, BOYA now offers a budget solution to all of those recording situations, and this is the BOYA Magic Mic, and they claim that it is one tiny kit that can do it all. It's a lav mic, it's a handheld mic, it's a desktop mic, and it's an on-camera mic. And at the time of shooting this video, there's 3 different kit options ranging from around $90 to $130. And honestly, those prices sound a little bit too good to be true. So BOYA sent the Magic Mic over for me to check out. And we're going to find out if this is genuinely magic or if there's some major catches that we need to know about before you spend your money. I'll put some links in the description down below to the best pricing I could find on the microphone system, as well as any discount codes I know about. This video is sponsored by BOYA, but I'm going to try to give you all the information you need, as well as some real-world audio examples, so you can make up your own mind if this is the right microphone system for you. I'm just going to quickly cover the 3 different kit options because the only difference is the receiver or what sort of device you're using to record your audio. If you're using a USB-C device like a computer, tablet, or smartphone, then you'll only need the base kit, and that comes with the USB-C receiver. If you are using a Lightning device, you'll need the kit number 2. That's going to come with the USB-C and the Lightning receiver. And if you're using something like a camera that's going to use a TRS cable or a standard audio cable, then you will need the separate receiver, and that is kit number 3. Now, just to help you understand the difference between the BOYA Magic Mic and any other standard wireless microphone system, I've got the Comica Vimo C here. It is at a very similar price point, and it's a microphone system that I have recommended in the past. And it's set up like many other microphone systems out there. It comes with the charging case, and inside the charging case, you've got your receiver and you've got your 2 transmitters. You will also get a little carrying case that this all goes in. It comes with the cables to hook it up to your camera. It also comes with a couple of wind muffs to go over the transmitters. This is a pretty standard set of features that you'll see in wireless microphone systems at this price point. The BOYA Magic Mic is going to do all the things that Comica can or any other standard wireless microphone, plus some. To start with, this is your charging case. And when you open this little window, it reveals your 2 transmitters. You take those out, and if you want to use this just as a standard wireless microphone system, we've got the 1-2 transmitters, and then the receiver, the USB-C receiver, connects magnetically to the bottom of the charging case. If you are using a Lightning port, then you would have the Lightning one that also attaches. If you are going to be using a camera, you've got this little separate camera attachment. So depending on what device you're using, that determines which of these transmitters that you're using. But say we're out doing an interview and we want to get clean audio on ourselves, but we're not going to be miking up the other person. Maybe we want a handheld mic. All we need to do is take one of these transmitters, put it in the top slot, close that. This now activates a microphone capsule, which is on top of the charging case. So now this is one microphone, and your charging case is now a handheld microphone. Now, say we don't need the 2 lapel style wireless microphones, and we just need to use this as a wireless standalone microphone. For just a little bit extra, you can get this tripod attachment, and you can put that on there. And now we have what I might call a desktop mic or a plant mic. So I can have this in the shop pointing at me and talking. The other thing you can do with this setup is, say you're recording a concert or a kid's play or something like that, and you know that being way at the back where they're going to allow you to stand up and use your camera, you're not going to get good audio. All you need to do is set it up like this, and you can sneak this up to the front somewhere closer to the stage where you're going to get better sound. Now you have this separate wireless audio solution, and it's standalone. But alternatively, if you're running and gunning and all you need is an on-camera microphone, you can take that little shoe off, and now you've got something, and that is just a cold or hot shoe attachment, and that's going to allow you to put the microphone on top of your camera. So those are your 4 different setups. You're either going to have 2 wireless lav mics, you're going to have a wireless lav mic and a handheld interview mic, or you're going to have this as a desktop mic on a tripod, or you can have it on top of the camera as an on on-camera microphone. Right now you're listening to the BOYA Magic Mic, and this is how it sounds. As you can see, it's actually really small. This is the wireless lapel mic just put on my shirt. It doesn't tug down on my shirt at all, and it's quite inconspicuous, particularly if I take off the wind muff if we aren't in windy conditions. This is how it's going to sound. Now, I'm in a busy city, so you're going to be hearing some of the background noise around me. So now I'm going to turn on the first level of noise reduction so you can hear that. Now you'll see in the microphone with the weak level noise reduction on. It has two different noise reduction settings. It has a weak and a strong. Right now we've got it in the weak mode. That should do a little bit less as far as filtering out the background noise around me, but it should protect my voice from sounding a little bit weird and robotic, which can happen at times with the strong noise reduction. A train's about to go by, so I'm gonna let that go by so we can hear what that sounds like. So that was pretty loud and should have really affected the audio quite heavily. So I'll be interested to see what that sounds like. Now you listen to the microphone with the strong noise reduction on. This should really do a maximum job of getting rid of the background noise around me. There's some birds, there's some traffic noise around me, but you do have the risk of it making your voice sound unusual and robotic. So right now, this is the sound of the BOYA Magic Mic with the strong noise reduction on. Now here's an example of what the microphone might sound like in a studio environment like this. We're actually testing out two different microphone setups. I've got the lapel mic on my shirt here, but I also have the separate charging case microphone on the desktop here. So we're demonstrating a desktop microphone setup as well as a lapel mic setup. And because I've set this up as stereo tracks in the system, I can choose or go back and forth between the two different tracks. And you might want to do this if you're shooting a YouTube video, because you can have two different mic placements and then in editing pick the one that sounds the best to you. The other thing I'll say is normally I don't do studio examples because inevitably you end up comparing this $100 microphone system to my $700 microphone that I normally use, and I get in shot very close to my mouth. But even with less expensive microphones, one of the best things you can do to improve your audio quality is get that microphone closer to your mouth. So even this little desktop mic, if you put it on a boom arm and got it in shot and got it very close to your mouth, this is going to sound much cleaner, much clearer, just by getting that microphone closer to your audio source. So if you're in a reverberant room or you're not happy with the sound, bring the microphone in shot, regardless of which microphone you're using, and it's almost always going to sound better. Right now you're listening to the BOYA Magic Mic, and I'm using it as a handheld mic, and I put both of the transmitters in the microphone case. So now we've just enabled it to operate as a sort of handheld interview style microphone. Now you listen to the sound of the mic in the weak noise reduction setting, and this is how it sounds. This won't have the maximum impact on reducing the noise, but it should also allow my voice to still sound quite normal and natural. So listen to the sound of my voice, the environment around me. How does this sound? Right now you are listening to the BOYA Magic Mic handheld mode in the weak noise reduction setting. Right now you're listening to the BOYA Magic Mic handheld mode in the strong noise reduction setting, and I've just got a train going by here, so this should be a really good test of how it filters out that noise and gets the sound of my voice coming through. The stronger the mode you use, the more likely it is to change your voice and make it sound a little bit unnatural. So it is good that we have a choice between weak and strong. In the BOYA mics, I generally end up using the weaker setting, and I think it sounds a little bit more natural, but just listen to the sound of my voice. Does it sound normal and natural? And how does it sound in the environment around me? And regardless of which kit you get, they all include a carrying case, a plosive filter, and wind muff for the bigger microphone, 2 wind muffs for the smaller microphones, and any cables you need to operate the system. And in addition to all the innovative features the microphone system has, it also has one of the best app integrations I've seen. It allows you to see the audio levels as well as set the gain, allows you to control the noise canceling, turning it on or off, or choosing the strength of that noise canceling, allows you to choose mono or stereo recording, allows you to turn on the safety track feature, as well as set up a range of EQ options where they have a few different default ones, but you can also program your own that suits the environment that you're in or maybe the sound of your voice. And it has the full user manual inside the app. Given the pricing and feature set, I think it's a reasonable question to ask, is the system too good to be true, or are there any major drawbacks? And there are a couple of minor things that I'd like to point out. I don't think they're deal breakers by any means, but something to be aware of. To start with, if you're using the microphone system with a camera, it does have a very simple receiver, and it only has the ability to turn it on and off, as well as set your audio levels or gain at 3 different levels. But other than that, it's just a very small, simple plastic affair, and you will have to charge this separately. This, you just plug in and it charges all at once, but this will have to be charged separately. The other thing to be aware of, and once again, not a deal breaker as long as you know about it, is you will get handling noise on the microphone. If you're using the handheld microphone and you are rubbing your hands on it, you will hear that in the microphone. Now, it is not really bad, but it's definitely there. So when using it as a handheld mic, you just want to get your grip solid the way you're going to hold it, and then just not move your hands at all, and then you won't have any problems. But you will get a little bit of handling noise if you're moving your fingers around on the microphone. The other thing to mention that you certainly won't get at this price point, but if you pay about double, you will start to get in a range where you get it, and that is internal recording. So some microphone systems have backup tracks that are recorded to the transmitter themselves. So if there is a breakup, you can pull that audio later. Now, I actually think that that feature is way overrated, and I have literally never used it ever, but I think some people it is important to, and you're not going to get it in this system or any other system at this price point. The versatility here is absolutely insane, and for under $100, you're getting a system that legitimately replaces 4 different types of microphones, potentially saving you hundreds of dollars and a ton of space in your camera bag. So if you are a solo creator or a vlogger or just starting out and want a single audio solution that can adapt to almost any shooting situation without costing a fortune, I honestly don't think there is anything else on the market that offers this kind of value. And it's hands down one of the most practical and powerful budget audio tools I've ever used. And for the right person, I think it is the perfect microphone. Now, if you don't need all the versatility of the Magic Mic and you want a backup audio track in your transmitters, I've just thrown a video on screen now. This is the BOYA Mic 2. It is a budget alternative to the DJI Mic 2. And at that price point, it's pretty hard to beat as well.